this is Strange Neighbour Big Toast right here. TUFF BOYZ, Revorg Records. We're taking over Shotgun the Orcs, man. Check it out.
Oh, big up, guys. It's a TUFF BOYZ takeover. So it's Tom again hosting solo with the TUFF BOYZ. You heard it. Strange Neighbour Big Toast, aka TUFF BOYZ. So you boys hailing from Croydon, and you're coming live from the Toast Shack today, which is a Tough Shack. Tough Shack. All right, man. How are you guys doing? I know you're a little bit delicate today.
Struggling a little bit, but yeah, we'll get through it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we'll soldier through.
Yeah.
Little step. Yeah.
Do you want to expand a little bit on why you're feeling a bit worse for wear today?
Yeah. Well, we just had a little listen through my new album with 184. That's all finished now. So I had a little session back there,
few beers with Breezy, one of the singers, massive contribution to the album. She's on a few tunes. With me, Toast, 184 and Breezy just sat, listened to the album for a bit, went through some new beats, thinking about starting a new little project, new TUFF BOYZ one. So yeah, be good.
Oh, nice one, man. Nice one. And the project coming up is Who's Shit in the Sand? Is it Sandbox?
Sandpit, yeah.
Sandpit. Right, yeah. Cool, man. I mean, the name itself kind of speaks volumes, you know what I mean? Of the tone of what to expect.
It's really just a strong album, man. It's probably not what you'd expect from Toast either. It's more, without sounding like cliche about shit, it's not just a pop. It's like, it's more of a musical album, to be honest. It's good.
A few different bits on there, yeah. Like we got Breezy down, so there's a little bit more singing, and like a bit more variation in all that. In the vocals, ain't just sort of pure rapping. There's some weird shit on there.
Yeah, it's just a good. It's just a good overall album that could it's a bit genre free. So hip hop is the sort of the backbone of it, but it variants off.
Yeah, like the beats wise, a bit more like 184's Butter Knife stuff. Right, there's a bit more much trip hoppy stuff. Like some of it's quite slow. It's a bit like. Yeah,
kind of like unorthodox, because listening to the track FWL, obviously Fred West Landscaping, the beat in that is very kind of it's very different, you know, and that song itself, I mean, if that's kind of I guess a hint at what's to come.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the one that stands out the most like that. The rest are all like just more darker trip hoppy sounding stuff, but it's hard to play because it places in the album really well, so it doesn't sound out of place, but it sounds the most different. I
wouldn't say it's really the overall sound particularly. It's just in terms of doing a video during lockdown, it was just the one that sort of made most sense to do.
It's amazing, man.
And with all the statue shit that was going on, a sense to drop that then, because the concept was a little bit like, you know, like people were saying about that, what's his name, the Bristol geezer, like, he might have been a slaver, but he did a load of philanthropy, all that bollocks, and so, it was kind of that, running with that comparison.
Yeah, man, because I think UKHipHop.com described it as like an ode to Gammon Logic. I think that was the term they used. Yeah, man.
Exactly that,
I think that's the thing, man. It was just kind of, if you know, you're watching it, and it's that kind of.
I like with a couple of levels on it, so like it does have a bit more of a sort of meaning if you really can be asked to read into it, but on the same time, it is just that shock factor, piss take kind of thing that's just generally quite my kind of humour. It ain't probably many people's kind of humour, but I found it funny, just to be said.
Yeah, well, those trading cards were next level as well. Like, who had those printed up?
He printed all the cards.
Done it at home, yeah. We're trying to get a proper set of cards printed with all them on there. But like, I turned around during lockdown, it was looking like weeks, and I thought,
crazy, man. But I mean, it's clear, like, just from watching your videos and listening to your music, that like you guys don't take yourselves too seriously, but you still address serious topics. Do you know what I mean? So there's a bit of a juxtaposition there. There's a lot of like satirical elements to your music, and like your solo work as well. Because Toast, I mean, like the track "Afraid of Americans" you dropped, and that was with 184 as well. mean, that's still relevant now. That was a couple of years ago. Obviously, like Trump still very much being like a fucking idiot. And that other track you did, "Fuck Off Tarquin," with like Datty and everyone.
Yeah.
I can honestly say, man, I mean, that was all about like gentrification and that, right? But I've never met anyone called Tarquin in my life. Like, I know it's kind of like a character it's supposed to be about, but it's just like that name always pops up and I laugh. I'm just like, I can't remember the last time I met a Tarquin, or if I ever have.
That's another one where it's got maybe a point buried in there somewhere, but generally it's just a bit fuck off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sick, man. So
I just can't stand people getting all, when they get all preaching, take themselves too serious. I think it's good to make a point, but don't think you're fucking Neo or something. You're the chosen one that's going to save the world with fucking rap music. It ain't that important. It's just rap.
Yeah. Yeah, you may as well have a laugh while you're doing it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, as well, when we first started, it's like, like trying to be all serious and that. But then we turn the mic off and we'd be ripping the shit out of each other. You might as well just have a laugh with it. Because it is, like Toe said, it's rap music. It ain't paying my bills, isn't it? So I may as well enjoy it when I do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
100%, man. It's all, your like personalities come through it as well. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like what sets you apart from other people doing it, and that's what it's about. You know, it's so oversaturated anyway. Rap, you know, it's an oversaturated genre, so you need to like just be you, innit?
Yeah. Exactly.
Speaking of which, yeah. So for anyone who's listening who may not know, how would you both describe the TUFF BOYZ? Who are you?
God knows, man. God knows. We got the cover here. Yeah, we got the cover here.
Oh, it's nice, man. Yeah. So this is a copy for people listening of your 2019 record, Back Night.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Out on Revorg Records.
Yeah, I can't really. I don't even know how it came about.
I mean, most of it comes from just jokes like when we were out pissed, and I mean, the name TUFF BOYZ, I think we was out after one in higher learning things, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we just going through all this football, ridiculous football shit, like the shouting football and like
taking this out of like typical football bloke or whatever.
Yeah. We're just saying we was in a firm.
We started our own football firm, and we got our own football crew, like football club. That's who we support. And then we was like, the firm can be called TUFF BOYZ. Yeah, I remember it. I forgot how it come around, but I do remember now. We're just running around Deptford like TUFF BOYZ,
taking it all on.
Yeah. And then it became like a thing that stuck. Like, but football club's still going strong. Like if we're painting all that, we put up FF. If we're in the pub and football on, we just scream football and tell you. Most people will find it annoying in the pub, and that's why we like it. So.
Yeah, annoying people is always good, I think.
Yeah.
Where's your local?
It's
offline trolling, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What in real life? What's that about? Come on. Living in the real world.
And then we just stick. That's now TUFF BOYZ is just a thing now.
And I think like the Back Night concepts as well. That tune, that was just out in a pub, just chatting politics and saying, I think there's like reality TV on the telly or something. We're saying like, just joking how they should make one where the person who gets voted off gets their head caved in with a bat. And like.
Poor old Catherine. Poor Catherine.
Like what people would do for fame. Like, would you die for your 5 minutes of fame? Like,
that's the logical conclusion of it all.
Yeah.
But, it was very funny when we were chatting about it. Maybe it's a bit weird to.
Our conversations are pretty fucking boring, but we turn it into tunes, so fuck it.
Yeah.
No, man, that video is crazy. I mean, I'll just leave it there. Like, poor old Catherine. If anyone hasn't seen it, go check out the video for Back Night. It's levels. It's kind of like something out of like the League of Gentlemen or something.
When it's from Orange Face, Mrs. wanted to do my face up like I was on telly, put all foundation and shit.
Yeah, Simon cowed him up.
My fucking gold jacket, slick back. Yeah.
Oh, amazing, man. So, I mean, I guess like a good place to start is talking about Revorg Records, yeah. So, How did that come about? Are you both kind of co-founders? Are you?
Yeah.
Is that where it was born? It's been about a while now, right?
Yeah. Since like 2013, yeah. Tail end of 2012, but I think our first official release was 2013.
Let's see if I've got.
But yeah, so
it all come from this.
we had started with this actually, which is coming out soon. Bit of a shameless plug. Cinematic pre-orders coming out in August, dropping in September.
And that's with Phoenix the Ice Fighter, isn't it?
That is, yeah.
Man, the sort of features on that thing look fucking crazy.
I know. It's yeah. I mean, originally that was picked up by High Focus, that album years ago, like, but it for whatever reason that fell through, and we was like, well, let's just do it on our own. Let's start a label. Let's just do, like, if they can do it, we can do it. Take my hat off to them. They do really well. Yeah, they've done it better. Yeah, take my hat off to Xander and that. Yeah, so we built a label hoping to push that. Yeah, and it just never came up. We just kept pushing it back.
We put out 30
yeah, we put out 30 releases before it. It's just been sitting about, and me and Phoenix have rekindled a friendship again. With that, we fell out, but we just lost touch over the years a little bit. Now we're he's done his Panettiere album, so it's done a full circle. We're back. But yeah, it started, and it's named after my pal Mark Grover. His name on Facebook was his name backwards, Cram Revorg. He had his name, and he passed away really young. I can't remember what age he passed away, but
20.
Yeah, he was young, 20. And we just thought, well, let's name the label after him. So yeah, and it's come from there, and it's going from strength to strength. So yeah, it's really enjoyable at the moment, because it had quiet hot spots, and like I went away, done some like family shit for a bit, and now I'm devoting all my time to it. So good fun.
Well, you guys are smashing it with the releases at the moment. I mean, that like G-Bag and Inform, Respect Your Elders joint that came out. That was shouts to G-Bag, man. He killed it with that one.
One of the best ever, my opinion. But yeah, he's so dope, and that album's done really, really well. So shouts to Informed as well. So yeah, it's really.
And then just before that, like Manage released his EP for you guys as well, man. And like, I think we spoke about it, didn't we? Like Manage being like one of our favourite rappers from the UK. He absolutely killed it, man.
One of my biggest influences. Doesn't influence my music, but definitely he was what I was listening to a lot.
He set the bar, I think. Like certainly for South London, like, I think a lot of people see him as like the standard. Do you know what I mean? Like he's. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I've heard a shit bar from him. He's like so consistent. Everything is just bang on. Like, and if something's shit, he doesn't. You know, he'll tell you if it's.
Yeah, he's got no filter on his quality. Yeah. He knows what's good and what's bad, and he will tell you if you don't like something. And yeah, he's a great artist. Really fan of him for ages, and always.
Yeah. And I think with it's his voice and his kind of cadence. It's very like we spoke about it on the podcast we did. It's kind of clarity. Like every bar he spits, it's with conviction. You hear what he's saying. Yeah. So I want to kind of tie this back to a bar that Toast dropped in one of the tracks on Bat Night. So you say you're not into kind of the bibbidi bobbidi shit, right? So it's kind of, I'm guessing that's kind of a reference to maybe certain artists who rap in a skippy flow. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of the antithesis of like Manage, or someone like you guys who's very concise with what they're spitting. It's like, it's just straight up. It's almost like direct. Not like grime, but like somewhere in between. You know what I mean?
I like every word to count, innit? Like, I think every word should be there for a reason. I don't like just throw in a little... throw something just to keep...
it's not a party trick, innit? Like, I'm not trying to do party tricks.
I think every word is...
If that's your thing, it's just, I ain't really down with that bibbity bobbity.
No, man. I think it's just like, it depends on what mood I'm in. And, you know, some tracks are just a vibe, aren't they? You know, as opposed to...
I see it more, I don't see it as, I see it as a skill, and a great skill, but it's not something I play in it. So. Yeah. But yeah, I prefer people like Manage, who's like Effects. Yeah. Oh, shout to Effects. He's coming back. I don't know if you're aware of Effects.
Yeah, man.
He's doing his second solo album on Revorg Records. He's recording it at the moment.
You posted a video of him recently, didn't you? I think.
A picture, yeah.
A picture, maybe. Yeah, of him laying something down.
Recorded 6 tunes the other week, so and he's got about another 6 to go. So yeah.
But things with his stuff is, again, it's very kind of true to life, introspective. Do you know what I mean? And I think like an artist like that at the moment is like Verbs, you know, because he's from your neck of the woods as well, isn't he?
Down the road from me, yeah, he lives very close to me, yeah.
Yeah.
Verbs, hands down, one of the best rappers in the country.
Yeah, right 100%, man, 100%.
Far from him at all, ever.
Yeah. I think the last thing we said, like, they're just them consistent, like, you just don't hear a shit bar from none of them.
And they're actually saying stuff, you know, as well. So, yeah, I like to come away from someone's music and feel like I know them a bit.
Yeah.
And I definitely get that from those 3 guys.
Yeah, so. Man. The like duality in Verbs, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was down here over the weekend. So he was shooting a video with my mate, and so we took him out because obviously, like, being from Croydon, and then coming to like the fucking, you know, Dorset, I was taking him out to like the Purbex and stuff, and like showing him like loads of like nice fucking sights. But he's just so like humble and chilled out. And then you think to yourself, like, I said to him, like, man, you are like, you know how good you are. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you need to realise how fucking good you are.
You know, he's good people.
Yeah, I record a lot of his stuff. I record that latest single for my peeps. Record that for him. And I record a lot of his features and stuff that he puts out because it's just down the road, isn't it? And he's honoured to work with, man, because he can sing and all. Yeah, he actually does some backing vocals singing on Toast's album.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't even notice it. Yeah,
is it like uncredited, just kind of like, there you go?
Additional vocals.
Yeah, he was just in the studio when we were recording, and he was just, you know, I can, he had a little bit of that. So he was just around. I can't even remember why he was around, but yeah, Toast was recording the song off his album. He was just he was like, let me jump in and sing a little piece here, add lots, and it did. It changed the tune, changed the whole dynamics of the tune up a bit.
Sure. That's I guess that's like a testament to like working together in a studio, like in person, rather than, you know, kind of remotely and sending bits over, because that wouldn't have happened otherwise, you know.
No, 100%, 1,000%. It's one of them in the moment things that happened, and it really worked for the album. Like, it changed the tune for me. I really like the tune. Yeah. Well, I like the tune anyway, but but you rinsed it, innit?
Yeah.
So how did you boys meet? Were you like mates growing up, or did you meet through hip hop?
Well, it's you and Jack with college, isn't it?
Yeah. So TPS, his brother, was in TPS. Well, in TPS, we're just not making music together like that anymore. But so I met Jack at college. We was doing music production.
Jack Diggs, yeah. Just for context with anyone listening. Yeah.
So we met, and then like him and Jack and Toast were called Rhyme Deviants, and I wanted to be a part of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like hearing these tunes. Yeah, I love one piece, but I was well jealous of like not jealous, but they got this thing going on where they're doing tunes and trading up bars and all that, and I really like, I didn't have that. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, I'm gonna start my own crew. Like, do you want to go? Like, it was just like 16-year-old me, like, just, you know, like wanting to be a part of something. And just over the years, me and Toast have become like brothers, man. So yeah, I've known him feels like forever now, but yeah, it's
quite a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, but there used to be a fourth member in TPS called Buzz Monkey, but after our first 2 promos, he just phased himself out of the crew. But yeah, shouts to him, man. We still talk. So.
Yeah, we're doing a little thing with him, actually.
Yeah, he produces now. We're doing the TUFF BOYZ little EP with him. So yeah, it's good to bring him back.
That up, you know, so it's been going on for a while now.
No, it's just been sitting on a hard drive. But here's what it is. But so that's like that's how me and him met. And obviously we chill together quite a lot. So it's just, yeah, it's just one of them things. It's been good journey anyway, musically.
Was your original rap names always Big Toast and the Strange Neighbour? Because we got to talk a bit about your names. They're very like specific. I want to know the background behind them.
Yeah. Jack Diggs was Vertex when I met him. And then he was Mr. Scullybug. And then Jack Diggs. And I like Jack Diggs is banging name.
Yeah, and then for a few, innit?
You were C Sparks. C Sparks. He's still saved on my phone.
When it was Ghostface Dinners.
Yeah.
There's a little play on the Ghostface Killer thing. Then that just got shortened to Big Toast. And that just works.
Yeah, because he done a project with Cracker John. Only built for Croydon Links. It's probably gone completely under the radar. But yeah.
Making a note of that.
They done a project and Toast used C Sparks in it, and you changed it for that album called himself Toast Based Dinners.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
All them growing up, just eating toast, then bit on toast in it, then poverty dinners and that, and yeah, that was it. That.
Yeah, man, and my name was called Just J, Just J in the house, and I didn't know where I was going with that one, and then I changed it to J Strange, Doctor Strange, and then just randomly the Strange Neighbour just came out of that really, but yeah, it's natural progression. Just keep changing it every so often.
The name sort of nowadays sort of reflect a bit more about what we're about in it, rather than just being some standard fucking rap name. Like, just I think we're really about all that particularly. But I think you can tell it's not going to be taking yourself too serious when the name's Big Toast Strange Neighbour.
Yeah, man.
And the thing is, I really liked the strange part because
you're a bit fucking odd, didn't you?
Yeah, well, and I am my neighbour's worst nightmare with the studio. So yeah, it's stuck. So, and I'm glad it's a good little name. I like it. Yeah.
I was going to ask you what your neighbour actually thinks of you.
I get texts often saying, "Can you turn the music down? It's 4 a.m."
Yeah, but your neighbour knows to look naked. So
yeah, that's true. That's my other neighbour though. My downstairs. Okay. My studio is above their bedroom, so we're still cracking on and making music at like 4 or 3 in the morning. He's texting up like, "My wife can't sleep. Please, and turn it down." In fact, it's not even that. It's my mate's daughter. His laugh wakes up the night. My mate's daughter laugh. That's how he laughs like a sheep. Yeah. And my neighbour always says, "It's not the music, it's the laughing," and it's always my mate daughter like doing that. Yeah, it is. It's like a goat, isn't it? It's fucking jarring.
Oh man,
I love that.
Oh man, are you got like a house or a flat, man? My neighbours are fucking long. I live like on the ground floor flat. I'm like trying to record this podcast, and I just hear like banging, running around, like just, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so I'm the upstairs, so I'd be the person pissing you off.
Yeah, probably, man. But fucking hell, it's just like one of those things, isn't it? It's like an old house as well. Oh boys, you've frozen. Oh no, you're back. You're good. Back in the room. Yeah. Man, it's like an old I don't think they soundproofed it when they turned it into flats because it's like an old house, you know. So it's just a fucking nightmare.
Well, gaps like that. It always sounds like there's someone in the house that just fucking upstairs. But I think there must be clogs or something.
Concrete shoes. But so with Bat Night that dropped last year, Strange, did you produce all of that project yourself?
That was Ollie Sudden produced the whole thing.
Was it? Oh, cool, nice, man. To get another kind of Croydon legends.
Oh, mate, yeah, you've got to get him on, man. He's got a million stories to tell, man. That guy has been there, done it, got the t-shirt.
He knows everyone, isn't he?
He knows everyone. He's the style master. He's got the outfits galore. He DJs, he makes beats, he raps. He does fucking everything. Like, he is the walking definition of hip hop, man. He had us on Like it was him that put us on.
Our first show,
yeah, we got our first ever show. I was 16. I couldn't even. I was just probably turned 17. I couldn't get into the venue, and the venue was like a fingerprint venue to get in, like members only. And Ollie took on a night bangers, and he put us on. Like made sure we all got in. He brought me in from young. Yeah, like he's put a lot of people on in Croydon, man.
A lot of people come up through bangers actually. When you think back, like I think I first see Rhyme Asylum there.
Yeah.
I think who else now? Like there's
Shouts of Skirmish.
Shit, I can't.
Yeah, there was loads of people. Like loads of people did come through there though. Like not Low Key Logic used to play. Like a lot of people passed through there. Like, do you know what I mean? And it was like a stomping. That and Speaker's Corner. There was loads going on. There was like a thing at Gramophone in East London, but that was Speaker's Corner. Obviously, Speaker's Corner was a massive one in London, Dilreal as well. But Bangers brought it, you know, south of the river. I mean, Brixton's easy to get, but there wasn't. Croydon's like a weird little pocket where there's a load of MCs, but no one
wants to go Croydon.
Yeah, and that
you don't talk to each other. What's the deal? Like, is it kind of a like disjointed scene, or?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
it's not that it's left now because like the council wants to turn it into this fucking shopping centre, and like nothing was getting any sort of
late licensing and all stuff like that. Yeah.
Like they had a lot of things. Like Cypher Lounge used to be down there, and then that got shut down basically. Had to move to Brixton.
I mean, it's better. Brixton's better, obviously, for the. But then you're not getting the up and coming local art. Like, do you know what I mean? Croydon had a lot of up and coming artists there that would sharpen their tongue at the open wax there, and so
and it's easier to get home from.
Yeah, well for us anyway.
Yeah.
But Brixton is obviously better for other people. But yeah, I really liked Bangers, and Ollie's honestly he's done it all. Like so, and that was an honour to work with him on the whole project here. I mean, obviously we're great friends anyway. He's at next album's coming out on Revorg, so
Gate Crashers shit and all.
Gate Crashers, he's part of the family, isn't it? Now
is he like resident DJ? You know, the Four Quarters in Peckham, or is he? Does he DJ there now?
No, he runs on. Yeah, he runs a night there.
Yeah,
Wax
that's
on.
it.
Yeah, Wax on, Web off. So he runs a night. And do you know what? If you ever get a chance to make it to one of them, it's banging. You've got like the arcade and that upstairs. Not is it arcade?
Yeah, it's called arcade.
It's like playing all the games in it, all retro games and stuff. That's pretty. I'm not into all that shit, but it's pretty cool. And then they do a good German beer there. And then but downstairs, Sweatbox basement, and the sound system is banging. Yeah, proper low roof. Like Tyzer's tall, like Tyzer has to duck under this beam to get in. Like it's wicked venue, like proper Sweatbox dingy. Yeah. And then it gets like it's banging. What a good venue and good night, man.
Yeah. They're the best venues, man. Do you know what I mean? Like intimate and just like just grimy as fuck.
Yeah, them places are feel packed with 10 people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good if you're performing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was because I played there for their Christmas thing, like a Revorg takeover thing. And there was only maybe 15, 20 people in there, but it felt busy because not really, you get about 30 people in there and you're kind of close, do you know what I mean? But then obviously upstairs there's like 50 odd people. The night's banging. It's a good night, man. I hope he continues with that after. I hope lockdown doesn't change that venue, and for whatever reason, that's not going to open for a while. For how tight you have to be, you know. Yeah,
I was going to ask about that. Like, obviously, like you guys are missing performing live. Has that been kind of, has that been hard for you guys, or have you just used it as a bit of time to kind of regroup and make music and focus on releases more?
Yeah, that. But we haven't dropped nothing. But I feel more sorry for Ollie. He dropped Style in 2020 an EP on the label. We couldn't do a launch. It sold out anyway, so we was happy with that. It's always good to do a launch, sell a bit of hand-to-hand merch with people. Do you know what I mean? So that was a bit disjointing for Ollie because the launch kept getting moved, thinking that it was going to happen, and then all of a sudden lockdown completely happened, and then G-Bag as well. He's dropped his album in lockdown. Can't do, and G loves a live show, you know. So I feel more sorry for the artists under the label that drop in music now and can't do a few shows. Not as if we're going out touring it anyway, but we're doing a couple of launches.
Good to do a couple things, isn't it? You get a feel for what tracks work. I'm dreading like going back now to do shows. Been wrapped at all for fucking months, and like so, a live thing. I'm gonna fucking block when I.
Nah, man, you'll be fine. Just got to get back out there.
100%. But I feel for the people that are dropping.
Saying about doing something in Croydon soon.
Yeah, because they're opening something in Croydon. This Breezy, she's a singer on Toast album. She's going to be running a night in Croydon, but they're going to live stream it, and they're allowed up to 30 capacity in there. Yeah. So
what we get anyway.
Yeah, that's about what we get.
Oh, amazing, man. Have you boys watched any of the live streams over lockdown at all? Because they've been like quite popular, haven't they?
They've been coming thick and fast. Do you know what? If I'm honest, no, I ain't watched not even one, because I use this time to knuckle down with a label. I've made 2 EPs in this lockdown. There's 3 EPs in this lockdown. One with a German guy from Munich called Leo Lex. We got an EP together. And we've done most of that during lockdown. We done one track when we done a show out there, and then we just decided to continue it as on the project. And I've just been writing loads of music. I didn't want to get distracted. I cancelled all my Netflix, unplugged my telly. I'm not getting distracted.
That's commitment, man. That's commitment. And you mentioned Germany. Did you record that Larger Than Life video there in Germany? Or was that somewhere else?
Yeah, that was in Cologne, I think.
And Bochum.
Or the train yard bit was Cologne.
Yeah, that was a freight yard in Cologne. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said, which one's Larger Than Life? That weren't Prague, was it? I'm getting all mixed up now. No, Larger Than Life was Cologne. Yeah. So Bochum, we did the show over there with Proton.
Yeah.
Was the Superior Sessions.
Yeah.
So we went over there. We did a night in Cologne. Then we went up to Bochum near Dortmund and done a show up there. And that was in another one of these little tiny. Well, we've been there twice now, but the first time it was meant to be outside in this sort of festival type thing. And there was this mad thunderstorm, and it was.
I've never seen rain like it. Honestly.
Yeah. So we found this other venue, like literally like last minute, which was tiny, and I think we had about 50 people in there, and it was like crushed.
But it was, and you like rapping in the middle of them almost. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's mad. It was that I prefer. Like next time we played out there, so last time we went out there, so we done twice out there. We played in a massive venue, loads of people. I preferred the first time when it was intimate, man.
Yeah.
It was a different, like you could smoke in there, like it was a proper banging spot, like.
And everyone was smoking weed in there, and the police turned up. And I thought, oh fuck, they're gonna shut it down. And then they just like pulled up. I had a little look in there, and then just drove off. Apparently, not allowed to.
Yeah, because they've done it as a
private or something.
Yeah, it's a private. They got dancing around this loophole, like saying it's a private venue. It's his front room. It's not a bar. And
I rate that.
And the police are just like, well, you're not causing any trouble. So they just left us alone. It was good. Like, and then we went out and just tagged the whole place up. So
yeah, man. Do you find that like overseas fans are a lot more kind of receptive to UK hip hop?
100%.
Yeah, I think it's not that sort of. Everyone's a bit too cool over it, certainly in London, to sort of show any love in it. Like everyone's just like. Most you ever get is like a head nod or something.
I think that's the UK generally, though, isn't it? Just like the sensibility.
And everyone is a rapper in the UK. Like no one knows their place as like a fan or whatever. Like, not saying that.
That's a good point, man. And sorry to kind of cut you off, but like that's why I do this, because I'm a fan of the music, and it's kind of like, right, how's a way I can contribute? I can't rap for shit. I'm not going to pretend I can. I'm not going to like, because I was having a chat to my friend about this the other day, and he articulated it really well. It's like hip hop is a genre of music where if you're kind of the top tier, you can kind of stand head to head with any musician anywhere. But unfortunately, it's also the genre of music where the kind of entry level, do you know what I mean? Like anyone can fucking attempt to do it. So it gets kind of.
Because you don't really like. Not like everyone listens to like a rock band, for instance, goes, oh, I'm going to play the drums now, and then go to the venue and play bad drums in front of front of the band, like.
Come on.
And then someone's come outside in the smoking area and they're rapping in your ear. Check this. Yeah, you just feel the germs crawling down your ear.
Yeah, man. I respect people who well, I mean, obviously, like have faith in their work, in their art, and actually kind of make the effort to curate it properly. Do you know what I mean? Like create hard copies of the music. They got visual media. They do it properly, but before everything else, they can actually rap. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of really important because I think with like the internet now, everything's instant, and anyone can like upload them spitting a 16 on Instagram, and it's just like, well, that's cool, but like, where now? Do you know what I mean?
It makes it harder to sift through everything because when we came out, if you press something, like, I mean, I'm glad none of our stuff, like Toe said, is on the internet, our early stuff.
You can't forget shit nowadays, isn't it?
No, but like, exactly, people are uploading music that's kind of, like, it was a statement to press something because it meant you believed in it. And back, you had to come to the shows with goods. Like, you had to spit and you had to have a physical product to back yourself before people go, oh, I take him a bit serious. Now it's just like, you're just smothered by SoundCloud links and Instagram posts. It's harder to find. There's too much bad. Like it's not too much bad, but there's a lot of shit. Like,
no, there is. No, you're right. you're bang on, man.
It's a good one because back in the day, like we was shit, like really shit. But we'd give someone a CD, they might just throw it away when they get indoors or whatever. But it showed that you was committed. Do you know what I mean? Like,
man.
I don't think you're gonna have. I think it's a phase for a lot of people now. Do you know what I mean? So. And I guess it's as well, rap is like a genre of music where I think anyone can kind of think they can do it just because it's rhyming words.
There's no, like, you ain't got to go and buy a guitar or...
Yeah, there's no outlay in it. It's just pen and paper. Like.
Do you know what else? I mean, that is obviously like a lot of rap music's like built off the back of like misery and pain. Do you know what I mean? And like that's the kind of a lot of the rap I like to listen to. Not necessarily like I don't know. I listen to a kind of variation of rap music. I like the kind of like real greasy, obnoxious shit, depending on what mood I'm in. If it's just bars, but I like the kind of soulful, you know, like Soulquarians, like the Roots, all of that kind of stuff as well. It just completely depends on the mood I'm in. But I think yeah, man. I think as you said, people just anyone can do it effectively. Like if they've got a pen and a paper and a voice and an internet connection, and unfortunately, it oversaturates it.
It does, yeah. But the thing is, if you enjoy it and you want to do it, keep doing it. But like the worst thing is people then stop buying the music because they think that they're artists and they do. So I just find it's hard to find the fans now. But also to find abroad. We go away and we take our stock. We make dough at the shows, like serious dough. Like people are not afraid to put their hand in their pocket. Like we're selling the Back Night CDs out there, like just little crappy card wallets, just so we could bring enough out there. And we're saying, just €5, whatever. They're going, that's too cheap. That's too cheap.
It's 20.
And you're like, what? Like, whatever. Yeah, give us the score then. I'm happy.
Or like sometimes at the end of the night, you just don't want to hold them anymore. You try to give them away, and you go,
no, let me buy them. Like one guy was like, I want your whole back catalogue, and he give us €100. Trying to knock him. Like saying, mate, don't need to pay. Just have this. I don't want to take it all home.
Nah, man. Nah, fuck that noise. Just take the €100, mate. Like, come on.
He was adamant. Like, shout out to that guy, but he was.
I'm bad at asking for money generally. I sort of think, fuck it, don't worry about it, mate.
Just buy us a pint.
Yeah. But no, that's the thing. You need to kind of. It depends on where you want to take it. If you're just doing it because you love it and you don't mind like breaking even, making a bit of cash, but. Then that's fine as well. Do you know what I mean? It all depends on what your aim is.
Man, I'm happy to do deals for people. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, if it's a difference, like, especially if it's a difference of someone taking away your music and listening to it and enjoying it, you can't buy that. Like, do you know what I mean? I'd make the music for the people to enjoy and listen to. So
primarily, though, you got to remember the reason we're doing this is just an excuse to drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Real talk, man. Real talk. I think do you think there's kind of a you got to factor in, you know, like how the Brits are generally, we're quite like passive aggressive in a way. Like there's no one ever really says to each other like, nah, you're shit. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, that's the whole UK hip hop scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cotton wool, too afraid to offend anyone.
Yeah.
It's just too much of a small, tight knit scene, isn't it? I mean, I don't give a fuck. I like most of the people in it, and I think they're, but I probably don't listen to any of them really. Like, there's very
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
But yeah, it doesn't go. But everyone's too scared to offend each other because I guess it is a really small scene. It's a handful of like contenders who are sort of sit at the top, and then you think, oh, if I do that, then I'm going to piss them off, and you don't want to do that. But
then I've got to see him next time.
Yeah, then you're always bumping into each other and rubbing shoulders.
It's going to be a bit awkward, isn't it?
But but in general, the people that we work with and the extended people, we get on well with them anyway. So, but I do think that the scene is like, it's a lot of people talk shit a lot behind people's backs, but never ever to their faces.
It's just included.
That's where it differs from grime, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got so many more like characters in grime, you know, who would just kind of like come out and fucking call people out. And hip hop needs that, man. I think personally, like, I think it needs it.
I agree. Who should we cut off? Right, let's start a beat with.
I need to think about it. We can't just come out.
Just get like a fucking posse cut and call everyone out, man.
But yeah, but to be fair, it's annoying because most of the people who we like, who's in the scene, are actually pretty cool people. So
yeah.
I don't know whether they get offended if you just don't listen to their music, though, because that's what I'm very bad at listening to UK rap. I don't really enjoy it, if I'm honest with you. So
UK hip hop, UK rap, like, would you differentiate between the two? Or?
UK hip hop, our genre that we're in. I don't really listen to it that much. I mainly just listen to our own music, our label's music, because I guess.
But then again, I guess like that makes sense because like you're making it. It doesn't necessarily you're not obligated to listen to everyone else making the same genre of music you're making. It seems like that's the only like hip hop seems to be the only genre where people feel like an obligation to like collaborate or. Do you know what I mean? You don't get that in any other genre of music, man.
It doesn't necessarily mean we need to collaborate too. I'm happy just having a friendship with you, or like a thing that we bump shoulders from time to time, and I'm happy with that. Just because I know you doesn't mean we need to work together, and I wouldn't be offended if someone told me no for a collaboration. Do you know what I mean? If I say work together, I don't expect people to say yes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy just kind of knowing someone. Like. The deeper, but back in my early days, I used to work with everyone that I met. I've met you now 5 times. Let's do a song together. Like, I don't do that. I just want to focus on my own shit. Listen to only, and it's just
that's when you were the naive neighbour.
Yeah, exactly that. But I want all that to be all clicky and all of that. But I'm happy just doing our own thing, plodding along now. And I kind of stopped listening to UK hip hop probably a couple of years ago now, because I'm so immersed. We got like 12 projects
when you make it.
100%.
It just ruins the fun. Like, you just get all critical and everything. Like you hear a bar and you think, oh no, I wouldn't have said that.
I wouldn't have said it like that. I would have worded it. I hear snares and go, oh, them snares.
No, you do that.
But, yeah, and so you're just too critical about the genre. Like, do you know what I mean? That you're in, I think.
Work, isn't it? Like listening to it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. It feels like work. So I don't really want to work when I'm doing it myself. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, and as well, I'm recording, mixing projects all the time. We got about 10 projects, 12 projects in the pipeline. I'm sessioning them all the time to see what we can change and better and before it comes out. So yeah, it's a bit It takes the love of it away a little bit, making so much of it, you know.
Yeah, man. Speaking of collaborations, is there like a rigorous initiation process to be in the TUFF BOYZ? What would I need to do? How do I become a TUFF boy? Come on.
You got to do weights. Yeah.
That's a whole 5K.
0.5.
0.5.
0.5.
Well, it's probably about 2K.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Yeah.
But we put Breezy in TUFF BOYZ last night, so she's now an honourable member of TUFF BOYZ. You just got to do the Tough Boys salute when John says Tough Boys. You got to do when you're in. Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
Nice one, man. So, like, what do you guys? You mentioned you're not really kind of into listening to like UK hip hop. What music are you listening to at the moment? And do you have any kind of guilty pleasures that sit outside of hip hop?
Quite a few guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
It's all shit, isn't it?
No, to be fair, I'm not really a music. I listen to what I sample and stuff, so it could be anything really. Like I'm more, if it's either I listen to our own music or I mainly listen to. I don't have time in the day to listen to music when I'm working, but when I'm home, I'm going through samples, so that's just any genre really. But I'm not really fixated in listening to music just because as soon as I'm home from work, the lab switched on and I'm doing that shit. But Toast listens to more music than I do, really.
Yeah, all sorts really.
He's like he played Nice Soul yesterday. He was banging. I can't remember who that
it
band
was that Salt one. Done that Wildfires tune. I think it's Salt. I don't know.
SAULT or something.
Oh yeah, I recognise that.
Yeah, that was good.
Listen to a bit.
Black Pumas. They're pretty decent. Oh, and Childhood. I like.
Yeah, Childhood as well from Brixton. They are actually banging. Yeah. So
make a note of that.
Childhood's really good, man. And you listen to that Fat White Family as well.
Oh yeah. Some obnoxious, fucking horrible, funky sort of shit. And back to Jury, Sleaford Mods. I quite like all that.
Yeah, Sleaford Mods are banging.
Oh, sick, man. Yeah, I was going to get onto like Il Move Sporadic because obviously he did Sleaford Mods were on Tenchu's album they produced a few years back, and you worked with IMS recently, didn't you? Strange on Drugslur.
I'm Drugslur. Yeah, do you know it's an honour working with them guys. They are wicked people. It's Neil and Ben, like One Boss and Ben 81. They are like so professional putting stuff out. They put stuff out far and few between. Like their releases go quite far apart, but when they do it really well. Package everything up really well.
Their sound as well, man. Their sound is like, come on.
They don't sound like anyone else. It's like mechanical, like. Yeah, they're good, man. They're wicked people. But Tom put out the "You're Not Special" with them as well. A similar time potential. Again, another cracking project.
If you could work with any kind of producer, dead or alive, this is a hypothetical, who would it be and why?
Do you know what? I don't have a clue, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a clue. It's just, I think you're just so suited to work with 184. It's just like, I can't hear you on anything else now.
It's hard work. Yeah. So, there's like, obviously, there's always the obvious people who think like Primos and all the. I don't think I
sound good over it. It's an album.
It's not necessarily about the best people. I'm trying to think who I'd sort of have a sort of fit with.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like, I think, got to have a similar sort of worldview because you can't have some. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a difficult one.
Yeah. I think like when you're making a project, you've got to have a sort of a shared idea of where it's going to go and that. So I think you just can't just pick a name.
I'll rephrase the question then. So like, who are some of your favourite producers of all time? That's easier.
Yeah, well, he's going to be the obvious. Like the Primos, Riz is probably my favourite.
Can't really go far.
Like he is like his sound is just it's unreal. I could like. It's just it's just I like grimy sounding stuff really.
Yeah, man. Is it like the real simplicity of his production, like the Felonious Monk and like the minor keys, it just works, doesn't it? Did you watch the beat battle with Primo and RZA?
You know what? I didn't watch it. I didn't watch that, but when I did see the track lists that they done. And I thought, like, at first I was like, Primo's going to eat him alive. But then when you look at the track list that RZA dropped, you're like, actually, fuck. Like,
it's all weird, though.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing more to be said, really. Do you know what I mean?
No one's ever complained about more woo. Like, their first solo albums are just ridiculously. They will go down in history till the day of like end of time. Them albums will always go down in history. Like, but whereas Primo's just a wicked hit maker, isn't it? He makes fucking bang and albums, but you just forget that RZA actually is just it's like Primo's a lot cleaner, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got his bangers, obviously, but RZA, man, it's just unreal. You couldn't recreate that sound. I think it's like fluke, isn't it? Like, he's made that sound by fluke. You didn't try, and like, there's no way you would have tried to make that sound.
Like, Rhyme, it was started off as Badly Made Garage, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a good point, man.
Yeah.
And sometimes things just come about almost by accident, isn't it?
Like, yeah.
Make do with what you can.
Yeah, because grime, and that's what I grew up on, man.
Yeah.
So I loved it back in the day, all listening to Sidewinder and that when I was like,
the tape packs.
The tape packs. But back when I was like, and all the live radio shows that they used to do, like, because it was they didn't really have many recorded songs back then. It was all sets, and it was like.
The song when they did do the songs,
it was like bad
energy, did it?
Nah.
Remember,
all the DVDs and all that they that they used to put out. All the Lord of the Mics and Lord of the Decks, and it was so,
all shot on like dodgy phones. And that.
It was just, but it was bad garage, and it got its own genre out of it. But because technically, they're not the best beats. They didn't put snares in. They'd use like a weird sound for a snare, and they didn't know what they was doing. Like, and it's created this sound that is so banging. Like, it creates a mood and an atmosphere that, like, no other.
Man. 100%. With RZA speech, especially, man. Going back to that, it's very like cinematic. Do you know what I mean? I think obviously the whole like brand of Wu-Tang, the whole kind of feel and like aesthetic, and like if you're into, obviously, like I'm into like horror and exploitation movies and all of that kind of stuff, so it's just like a fucking delight listening to it. Do you know what I mean? And then going back to it and trying to find out, like, all right, like, what was that sample from? What like kung fu movie was that derived from?
But it's just like what he samples. If you hear like the original sample of some of the things that you think, how the hell has he got that sound out of that? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like a clean sample. Happy. Basically, yeah. But who knew you'd love it? Like, he must.
Have you got a favourite Wu-Tang solo project?
Solo projects, I've probably had to go Cuban Links.
Yeah, I'd say Cuban Links.
So obviously, I've had our Liquid Swords in it.
Liquid Swords for me, man. I think just cohesively, do you know what I mean? They're very different, very kind of different.
Album for me, it don't seem like a solo. It seems more like a whole Wu thing, like another full album, doesn't it? Like all the big tracks got fucking everyone on there.
Yeah, well, I'd say Liquid Swords, but as well because I think I like the beats more. Like, but yeah, Cuban Links is. Funny enough, I didn't really like Takao, Method Man's one. I thought I would like that one the most because I quite like
rappers. But I don't think he really, like, on a solo, he just doesn't quite.
Yeah, he's a standout when he features with them, innit? But
it's like a million tunes and that.
I think it's his voice, isn't it, that stands him out, Method Man. He's just got the steez as well. But I think it's just Jizz's bars and just like the kind of pictures he paints when he raps in that album is just fucking crazy. Like, it is a tough call between that and Cuban Links, though. I've got to give it to you.
Yeah, Cuban Links is just he's
like all the grimy shit.
Yeah, but I think like Raekwon, he is just crime. Like, I even like Cuban Links too, but I just there was too much of a variant. Yeah, but it's got too much producers, I think, on it. I think it should have had a little bit more consistency of production. But other than that, that was a good follow up. I wasn't disappointed by it.
Yeah, man. So before we wrap up, TUFF BOYZ, what have you got in the pipeline? Obviously, like Who Shit in the Sandpit is coming up with 184 Toast. You're in discussion of a TUFF BOYZ Part 2.
Yeah. We're gonna try. I think we're gonna keep rotating the producers on that. So I think probably we'll go 184 next, maybe.
Yeah, and we've got the EP with Dylan as well.
Oh, yeah, we've got that going.
With the TUFF BOYZ with Dylan producing Dylan.
We've got the thing with Leo as well.
Yeah, so we got a Munich Connect. Like, we've got an EP with Leo Lex that's called London Gatwick to Munich, whatever the airport codes are, LGW to MUT. But there's so much. We just signed a project from Nick the Exotic. So that's coming out. That's got Bumpy Knuckles on it.
Fucking hell, come on.
Large Pro. So yeah, we just signed that project. So that'll be coming out next year. Yeah. Effects. I've got an EP coming. Ollie Sudden. Got an album. We got so much in the pipeline, honestly.
There's a bunch of stuff on the way.
Ollie Sudden, these new albums coming out. Oh, Cyrus Malachi. Cyrus Malachi. He's dropping an album in September with us actually as well. Yeah. So
I've only got a cinematic as well.
Yeah, so we got so much. Honestly, we got so much music coming out. Cyrus Malachi, Neat the Exotic, Effects, Ollie, Toast, myself, like lots of stuff. Phoenix at Icefire. Yeah, the list is like we've got lots of music coming.
Oh, gas for that cinematic release though. Only because it's been like so long coming, I think, and I just sort of clocked the features. I thought, wow, man, that's going to be something special.
Expendables track. Yeah, it's like 3 lines of just features.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the biggest posse cuts, I hope, and I hope it's taken really well.
Kevlar 7 on there as well.
Yeah,
I was like just before he.
Yeah, we got Kevlar 7 on cinematic. He's from the Wise Men, Bronze Nazareth. He was Bronze Nazareth's brother actually, and he passed away shortly after that verse. So yeah, so that's. Shouts to like rest in peace, but yeah, so he's on there too. Copyrights on the album.
Oh, really?
It's honestly like I'm impressed. I don't know why.
Sloppy fight.
We used to have it on the old studio computer, and every time we had this little lab in Camberwell. Every time we'd have everyone back for a big session after a night out and that, and we start running through all the beats in there, and like people would be like, "What the fuck? Why is this on the hard drive and not out?"
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's just, I'm glad it's coming out. Like it had to see the light of day, especially that posse cut. We've shot a video for it. Obviously, logistics wise, you're never going to get them 14 artists. So we had to think of a concept. We've done that. So yeah, the video drops on the 1st of September. So yeah, so it's good. So I just hope the scene takes to it well, man. Like, cause, I'm happy with it. I'm still happy with it, and it's like 5 years on. So.
Oh man, that's the best thing, really. I mean, consistency is key as well. I mean, you boys are putting music out on the regular. Do you know what I mean? And that's, I think, that's you have to do that. It's cool that you're taking it seriously and you're pushing it. And I think all the artists is very kind of like cohesive as well. Like the kind of artists you have on the label right now. There's definitely like a certain type of rapper on the label that I think, they best fit for Revorg. Do you know what I mean? Like when like Manage drops a project, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. G-Bag drops a project, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. So is that like intentional, or is that it just happened kind of organically based on the people that you like to work with?
Yeah, and I think you end up building your own little bubble and your own scene. The longer you're in it, the more because High Focus have got their like crew sort of thing. You got like In the Balance, they got their crew. Blast, you've got obviously their crew going on. You build that as you go through because it's all similar mind states of the rappers, like So as you go through, it's just like, oh yeah, that does make sense being on it, like because you kind of fuck with them people quite a lot. Do you know what I mean? End up just similar mindsets of each artist, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, with everyone we've got on the label at the moment, feels like a good team anyway. Yeah. Like shouts to people in the background. Like Sam Kratz is a new signing for us as well. And
he did the remix, didn't he? Of the G-Bag track.
Yeah, he does. He's doing a lot of artwork for us as well. Yeah. He's such a good signing for us, isn't it? So, and his album is going to be insane. The features on that are crazy. So I can't wait to drop that. That'll be next year as well. We got it's just a lot of stuff, man. And we've got people in the background like Downstroke who does a lot of our art for us, and so shouts to him, man. But he don't get the glory. He don't get the glory he deserves, really, because I know me and Toast run the label, but Downstroke he's like a third like owner with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of creative control. Like if artwork's not good enough, he'll let you know. And if you don't like something, he will let you know. And it's good because he's brutally honest, and he always, as much as you might throw your toys out the pram, he'd be right in the end. You know what I mean? So I'm glad we've got someone like him on board too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Exactly. To keep you on track, keep you in line. Yeah, man. Well, before we wrap up, where can people find you guys on social media, and where can people find your music? More importantly,
all the music's at revorg.co.uk. I'll just divert you to the Bandcamp. I don't even know.
And then it's just type punch in Revorg Records, The Strange Neighbour Big Toast on all of that. You'll find it. It will come up.
Yeah. I was going to say on Twitter, but I got kicked off Twitter a few times. So
Revorg. If you just type in Revorg Records on it, or so some of it's underscore like, hyphen whatever, but it comes up. So yeah, you'll find it on all of the stuff.
And people listening, like, go and check out their album from last year, Bat Night, because it is jokes. It's like really well produced. There's some fucking incredible bars on there. Some of the skits and introductions as well. Like Harvey introducing one of those songs, like it fucking caught me off guard, and I was just like, no.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
All right. So anyway, I won't go into that, but you'll get the reference if you go and listen to the album. But TUFF BOYZ, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're at Shotgun the Yorks, all platforms, Spotify, YouTube. Go like, subscribe if you want to. And we're out. Stay safe, boys.
All right, man. Nice one. Take care, man.